An example of a superset is as follows. You would perform a set of dumbbell chest press, take minimal to no rest, and then perform a set of dumbbell rows. Then take a longer rest period before repeating the process for the desired number of sets. Antagonist paired sets is the most common superset where you work opposing muscle groups. Another common superset is to pair lower body exercise with an upper body exercise to potentially help dissipate fatigue during a training session. A compound set, also referred to as an agonist paired set, where you work the same muscle group, is a popular pairing within the bodybuilding community, such as barbell curls into hammer curls. Other popular groupings are trisets, giant sets, and complex sets. Now, before we get into the benefits, there is no evidence to suggest that superset training is any more effective than traditional strength training, where you would do a hard set, rest 2 to 5 minutes, and then go again, also referred to as straight sets. Now, I'll go into practical applications later in this video. The biggest benefit in using supersets is that they're time effective. If you're someone with little time to train due to work, family, or a full-time athlete working a job, supersets can be a great way to maximise your session time. A study by Robbins et al., which included 15 trained males, performed high-intensity loaded bench press and bench pulls for 8 weeks in a superset versus traditional manner. Both groups showed similar improvements across all performance metrics. However, the training time for the superset group was roughly half that for the traditional training group. Other studies support the notion that when training to failure at 8 to 12 RM, superset training can be performed in approximately half the time as traditional training without compromising training volume. There's also evidence to suggest antagonist preloading potentially can facilitate increased muscle activation in the agonist. So for example, in the results of the Maya et al. Study found that leg curls with no rest or relatively short rests of 30 seconds and 1 minute might be more effective to elicit greater leg extension performance. From the studies, supersets have been shown to have similar performance improvements compared to traditional strength training, with the added bonus of doing it in a shorter time frame. So provided individuals are training hard enough and they're training consistent, then it is likely a really good training tool for putting on muscle mass. Supersets offer variety and a different stimulation. So if someone enjoys doing them, they're more likely to stay consistent with their training, which will ultimately lead to improvement in the long run. Several studies indicate that superset training induces higher lactate production and higher levels of fatigue than traditional strength training. So while supersets can reduce the training time, it also decreases neuromuscular and force generating performance during training, particularly for strenuous compound lifts. Provided you train with intent on each rep and are aware of the trade-offs, then it's no big deal. You may need longer recovery between sessions. If you're seriously out of shape, then supersets may not be the best option at this stage. In terms of implementing supersets into your own training, use traditional sets for heavy compound lifts. If your goal is to increase strength and add weight to the bar, then focus your attention on that given lift to maximise adaptations. Personally, I couldn't think of anything worse than supersetting heavy squats, deadlifts or mill presses with anything else other than rest. You can superset the rest of the session after this, such as leg extension with leg curls and calves with tib raises, for example. Superset groups that don't interfere with one another. So use agonist paired sets as outlined earlier, such as chest press with rows, or lower body with upper body, such as leg curls with biceps. This will provide you with adequate rest and help maintain intent throughout the session. Rest at least 1 minute for isolation exercises such as biceps into triceps, and for bigger compound lifts, rest at least 2 minutes such as dips into chins. Now, like all things, it's another tool in the training toolbox. You may choose not to superset, you may choose to do your big compound lifts first and then superset, you may choose to superset everything. It's entirely individual and you need to figure out what works best for you. Now, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, fire them in the comments down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.